Right now, there is an important conversation taking place in the world of financial literacy, one that every person who holds foreign currency should hear, clearly and calmly. If you have been holding a foreign currency like the Iraqi dinar for years, waiting, watching, and wondering what is real and what is not, this discussion may help bring perspective, not promises. Stay with me, because what we are covering today is not rumor, hype, or speculation. It is about understanding financial systems, regulatory principles, and how educated preparedness can change how you approach any currency holding. For a long time, fear and confusion have influenced how people talk about foreign currency investments. Questions about taxes, reporting, compliance, and potential penalties have caused many to hesitate, some to even freeze entirely. Today, we replace fear with understanding. By the end of this talk, you will have a clearer picture of what financial and legal educators emphasize, why preparation matters, why documentation is your strongest shield, and why patience, paired with knowledge, is more valuable than timing. This is about education, not outcomes. If you want clarity instead of no's, stay focused. For years, many foreign currency holders have lived in a space of uncertainty. People bought currencies with hopes, but often without a full understanding of the regulatory environment that surrounds currency exchange. Many wondered, what happens if I need to exchange? What rules apply? Will I face heavy taxes or penalties? Could I make a mistake that leads to legal trouble? That fear led to paralysis. Financial educators now point out that much of this anxiety stems from a lack of clarity about how currency transactions are categorized within existing financial and tax frameworks. Not every exchange is treated the same way. Not every holder falls into the same category. That distinction is essential. In 2026, professionals in finance and law stress that private individuals are not automatically taxed simply because they exchange currency. The outcome depends on several factors: how the currency was held, how the exchange is conducted, and whether proper procedures are followed. This is not a free pass, it is a reminder that the law is nuanced. And understanding that nuance is the first step toward confidence. Legal and financial educators explain that scenarios exist within the law that may allow for minimal or no tax liability, but these scenarios are specific, conditional, and require strict adherence to the procedure. They are not loopholes. They are applications of existing law under precise conditions. This includes using authorized financial institutions, maintaining thorough documentation, and correctly identifying the nature of your holdings. Many currency holders are private individuals, not professional traders or institutions. That distinction can matter significantly. The law often looks at behavior, intent, and structure, not just the asset itself. How you acquired the currency, how long you've held it, and how you handle the exchange all play roles. When these elements align properly, certain exchanges may not trigger taxable events. But let me be clear, this is not about avoiding the law. It is about following it precisely. Experts stress that transparency is your protection. When everything is documented, reported properly, and processed through approved channels, the law functions as it was designed to. One of the biggest misunderstandings in the currency community has been the assumption that all exchanges are automatically taxable. Educators clarify that this is simply not accurate. Tax laws are layered. They distinguish between different types of financial events: ordinary income, capital gains, currency conversion, and asset realization. In certain situations, currency exchange can be treated as a conversion event rather than a profit-generating sale. This is where confusion often sets in. The key point is this: taxes are triggered by specific legal definitions, not assumptions. If a transaction does not meet the criteria of taxable income under applicable law, no tax may be owed. But that does not mean reporting is optional. Reporting and taxation are not the same thing. You may be required to report a transaction even if no tax is due. This distinction alone has caused unnecessary worry for years. Clarity allows investors to separate myth from reality and focus on compliance rather than panic. Another major emphasis from experts is the importance of using authorized exchange channels. This is not a suggestion, it is essential. Transactions should be conducted through recognized banks or financial institutions that follow regulatory standards. Using unofficial or informal methods can change the legal outcome entirely. Even a scenario that might otherwise be tax neutral can become problematic if handled improperly. That's why educators stress preparation over speed. Rushing into an exchange without understanding procedures can create unnecessary complications. Authorized institutions provide documentation, verification, and records that protect you. These records are vital if questions ever rise. The system favors transparency. When transactions are clear, traceable, and compliant, legal protections apply. This is not about hiding anything. It is about doing everything openly, correctly, and within the system designed to handle currency exchanges lawfully. Documentation is not a burden, it is a shield. Proof of ownership, identification, purchase receipts, and transaction history establish legitimacy and intent. Many currency holders have kept their holdings for years without realizing how critical those records may become. In 2026, educators advise organizing everything before taking any action. Documentation demonstrates that you acted lawfully and responsibly. In scenarios where tax may not apply, documentation is what proves your eligibility. Without it, even a legitimate exchange could face delays or scrutiny. Preparation often determines outcome. The system rewards those who follow procedure, not those who cut corners. This principle holds true regardless of the asset. Clear records protect you, reduce stress, and smooth the process. International holders often worry that different rules apply. While regulations do vary by jurisdiction, core principles remain the same: compliance, authorized channels, and thorough documentation. Being an international holder does not automatically create problems, it may mean additional verification steps. These exist to protect both the system and you. When followed correctly, international holders can also navigate exchanges lawfully and smoothly. Again, preparation and patience matter more than geography. Timing is another common concern. Should you exchange now or wait? Educators emphasize that timing should be based on readiness, not pressure. There is no legal benefit to rushing in unprepared. In fact, acting before your documentation and institutional access are in order can create problems. The law does not penalize patience, it rewards compliance. Focus first on understanding procedures, verifying institutions, and organizing records. This approach reduces mistakes and stress. Legal educators also clarified that large holdings are not automatically suspect. Size alone does not determine legality or tax treatment. What matters is how the holdings were acquired and managed. Private individuals with substantial amounts are not treated the same as institutions or professional traders. Transparency protects the holder regardless of the amount. Another key insight: misinformation spreads faster than facts. Professionals warn against relying on social media claims, anonymous sources, or emotional hype. Real education is nuanced. Anyone claiming universal, unconditional tax-free exchanges is misleading you. The law is clear, but not careless, calm. Informed decisions always outperform rushed reactions. There is also a difference between legality and ethics. Doing things the right way protects you and supports the integrity of the financial system. When holders follow rules, it builds trust, and trust supports stability for everyone. In closing, the message from financial educators in 2026 is straightforward. Clarity comes from education, not emotion. Scenarios that align with legal frameworks do exist, but they require specific conditions, proper procedure, and thorough documentation, they are not automatic, but they are accessible to those who prepare. The path forward is not fear or hype, it is understanding, preparation, and compliance. If you stay informed, stay organized, and stay patient, you place yourself in the strongest possible position. This isn't the end of the conversation, it's a shift toward grounded, educated participation. Thank you for listening. Stay calm, stay prepared, and always seek knowledge from credible sources.